Hola. Um, my name is Kazim Quadri, and welcome to my podcast. So yeah, it's been a minute, right? Roughly 2 months, if I'm correct, since I dropped my last episode, and well, it's been an interesting 2 months. Yeah, technically I'm officially a graduate at this way to speak it. So yeah, I completed exams in school. So yeah, my school is in Benin, so I had to travel back. Interesting journey. Maybe one day I'll ever talk about that. Got back, resumed work, and got a side gig that is technically like a full-time gig also, but on the side, if you get what I mean. And I've been getting a lot of contracts. My other stuff I do, like building websites for other clients, and it's been an interesting time. So maybe eventually I'll probably title this episode "Handling Stress in Stressful Times." I'm thinking that's what just came to my head now. But yeah. So some of the reasons I didn't drop any episode, because I wouldn't say I didn't record, because I know I recorded some, just wasn't feeling it and just didn't feel like publishing it out. So some of the reasons I didn't record any episode, and also what I've been up to lately, I just felt like dropping that and giving a heads up on what's going to be happening in coming time. So yeah, this season of the podcast still remains starting your career in 20s, because I'm still in my 20s. I'm still starting my career, even if it's like 6 months, years into my career. But yeah, if you are just listening to the episode for the first time and you don't know me, so my name is Kazim Quadri, and by career and professional wise, I am a software engineer. I also do a bit of photography, which I do for fun, and I enjoy it. I love it a lot. I somewhat hope one day I'll probably make a time for me, but I just love to do it. I do this podcast, which I listen to. Yeah. I'm a son to 2 fathers and 2 mothers. If you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe slide in my DM. I am a brother to many sisters and many brothers. Chill. I have a lot of brothers and sisters. Friends to my friends, and I think most of all, I'm God's child. Yeah, that's pretty very important. So yeah, Christian, I don't know, I'm giving my bio, but so I think it's leading up to something, and I'm just ranting out here, so bear with me. So yeah, how has my last 2 months been? One word for it has been interesting. I would say interesting, because it has a lot of sides to it. So if you stay with me, or you're my roommate, or you're sharing listening to this with my roommate, you would all know that I've almost hit my head on the wall multiple times a day just to get things in place. And I think this is probably the 3rd time in my whole career I've been tested on my limits, and put it that way. So, quick backstory. As I explained earlier, I'm a software engineer, so I work in a company, but I took, I think, 2 weeks leave to go write exams. That's my final exams in school. So yeah, and I got back. So but before my final exams, I got a gig that was supposed to last for like 2 months, I think, and probably eventually become something better down the line. But yeah, so I got a gig, and yeah, I felt the project was pretty straightforward. The only issues that I had was the technology that we're building the project on. So was something I wasn't quite familiar with. It was a whole new CMS. I wasn't quite familiar with it. So sorry about that. You're on the bit. So yeah, I had to figure that out on the job, which I've always done all my life. Yeah, down the line I was able to get it, but initially the first 2 weeks was a lot. So I think because of that, and also resuming back to work, I had quite a number of issues trying to adjust. So I was having less sleep at night, having long weekends, and also my weekends have always, Sunday especially, has always been my most busiest day, but my Saturdays became occupied. I've had a meeting with a friend that I've had to push 6 times, like 6 different weekends, because it's only even on weekends I can actually possibly meet with this friend, and I've had to push it 6 times. And even now, I didn't just drop into the person's DM again, because sincerely, I don't know when I would have that free weekend to be able to even have this meeting in the first place. So I've been quite busy. I think that's the best way to see it. And not until, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, I realized I've probably been looking at this all wrong. So first thing first is, well, for me, I don't know about any other person or any other career line, but whenever you get on a gig in tech, most times you want to always make a good impression to the person you're working with. Also learn, and also have the possibility of letting it grow into something bigger. That's it. So I think because of that motivation, when I got into this project, I was all on, let me get this done fast, let me do this in the best way possible. And I had a conversation with the client back then, and it was like, okay, the client was like, okay, you're free to choose what technology you want to use. I'm not just familiar with the one you know, and if you feel that's the best way forward, go ahead with it. Sure. And the crazy me was so excited, and just trying to jump into a new project was fun, I think. And I didn't ask the right questions, you understand? And I think that led me to going down the line of, I did the project. I was able to build what I needed to build. The issue then became it didn't meet the client's requirement. Now, the frustrating part of this whole thing was I was very stressed out, because every time I had to like present what I've done, there's always going to be like some sort of like rework and back. Interesting, I learned quite a number of things within that time, but it was very frustrating. Like, there were times I've had within that whole time, I think most of the time when I have a conversation with people, apart from when I'm not even talking about office work this time around, because office work too has been pretty much stressful, but I'm just trying to drive at the extra stress that came up, which made my past 2 months pretty much very stressful. So there were times I'll be talking to someone, and sincerely, I'm not in that conversation. I'm just trying to probably fix a bug I've been having in my head. This is pretty normal for me. I don't know about any other person, but I think whenever you have a bug in tech, most times it becomes like you get soaked in, and down to, no joking here, fixing bugs in my dream. Like, I've literally woken up many nights just to write the code. I just figured that would work out something. So yeah, and it went on and on like that. But I realized that I should have taken a step back and try to properly analyze things properly, ask the right questions, and understand what steps I needed to take. Now, even my boss has said this a lot of times. He said, there was a day he sent me a message. He said, Kazim, you're a very good programmer. You just need to learn how to look at things. Like, there's a way to put it, but in some it's more of like become to have a second perspective on things. That's what I was able to get that. Because sometimes I'm always just so excited to do something, I just do it and realize that, oh, I should have just even just done something else that would have made it easier, less stress, and I won't have to waste all my efforts in doing that thing. So long story short, I had to rebuild everything I built the first time for the clients. And what I built in about 3 weeks to 4 weeks, or roughly a month there, but I had to rebuild it in 3 days. Well, it was an interesting journey. So yeah, done with that module. And one interesting thing I was able to pick up from this whole experience is that whenever you envisage stress, or whenever you envisage situations where you have to do quite a number of things and you feel overwhelmed, I think the first best thing you should do is to find a way to calm yourself down and try to be logical about it. Then there's another thing I think helped me out also was the fact that along the way I was being open to people around me, explaining that okay, I'm in quite a number of stress. Others, some people just didn't understand. Had some fights with some friends over that. And also I leveled up my prayer life. So yeah, I've been praying. Not that I haven't, but I had to like double it somehow because it was I just understood that realization that I can't just do it on my own. It's not possible. I don't even have the strength because half of the time I get home and after I work and I have meetings, I just get wasted. Sincerely, I just get wasted. So I had to do this. So first of all, calm down and try to rethink things. Secondly, pray. And third, I eventually remembered that I had a to-do list application. So I think in probably the first 3 episodes of this podcast, I discussed on tools I use for productivity. And I had to like sincerely listen to the episode again, or better still, just get excerpts from the episode and be able to like implement those things. And sincerely, it worked for me. So I started using to-do list. That would help me list out things I wanted to work on and check them out one after the other. Not saying I follow it thoroughly because I have a day job where things just spring up. So for example, like I think I wasn't home since Wednesday. I got back last night. So like about 3 days I've not been home. And that was just all on the client wants this. You have to move to the client location, and I have no say over that. I just pack my bag. In fact, I just carry the shit. Carry some other things I would need to have my bath and like and change or stuff. So, and I was out. Just the same bag I carry every day to work. In fact, I always have a brush in my bag because of things like that. Because I know I always have to just pack up my bag and move anytime. So, at least having a brush means I'll brush my teeth, which is probably very important than having my bath. Anyway, that's listening to things like this doing it right now. It's just the truth for me. So, yeah, I had to figure these 3 things out using my productivity tools that I know of, that I'm familiar with, praying, trying to calm down and analyze things. So if you're out there going through a stressful period of time, stressful time, sorry, that's tautology. So reach out to me. What things have you done to help ease things out? Have you tried out some of the things I used? And also, yeah, I think one thing I did was to talk about it. I think I mentioned this, but I had to talk about it at some point because at first I didn't want to talk about the whole thing. I just wanted to keep it up in my head and I'll figure it out because that's where I am. I'm trying to learn how to. I'm trying to unlearn that part of me where I just keep everything all bottled up. And also, sadly, I felt everybody thinks Kazim has it all figured out. Sincerely, I don't. If you're listening to this episode and you've always figured, I've always had your understanding or thoughts that I figured things out. I don't. Some of these things I have to just learn on the way. And sincerely, I have a lot of people to thank for that. Family, friends, my mentor. Yeah, so I think how best to put this is he's 3 times more busy than I am. And he still finds time to do things that I feel I'm too busy to do. So I think one time I had quite a number of issues. I had to speak to him. Then he explained something to me. And I think what I got from that whole conversation was, at the end, human beings, the people you have around you, are more important than the work you're trying to die for. That's what I got from that conversation. So if you're out there, please remember that fact. People are more important than work. No matter how much the work pays, no matter how fulfilled you feel around work, when all things settle, when everything clears out, it's still people that are going to stand there. So just take that to heart. I know there's a lot of money is blah blah blah. Sure, trust me, I want money. I want to make more money, but at the same time, I want to have a healthy life. I want to look down when I'm 70 and look back and still have a more fulfilled life and have no regrets. So yeah, thank you very much for listening to my quick rant. If you have tried any of these things out, or you want to talk about these things, please slide in my DM. I would love to have a conversation with someone about this because it's really been a very interesting time for me. Still going through it, sincerely. I'll probably give a heads up at the end. And yeah, I think I have an announcement soon, but still waiting for some people to do their own part of the announcement. So yeah, have an awesome day ahead, week, month, year. Don't forget, my name is Kazim. Please like, share, subscribe to this podcast. Please share to your friends. If you really enjoyed this, share it. And reach out to me at durant@kazim@gmail.com, or even just like in my own personal name. Yeah. Bye. Ciao. Hola. Bye bye. Bye.